All right, so we've got another update on the Oakland Athletics never-ending moving saga. There's now some rumors going around it might already be delayed a year, and the new ballpark might not open until 2028, which will force the Athletics to play 3 seasons possibly at their AAA park or maybe in Sacramento. This article hinting at maybe they'll go there instead of the Las Vegas state-of-the-art AAA. And here is the key fact. If you look down in that first paragraph, it says the A's would sign a 30-year-old lease and cover all overruns on the $1.5 billion, 30,000 retractable roof ballpark. A 2028 opening day is now anticipated for the new stadium. That is big news. I didn't know that was happening. It doesn't surprise me if it does get delayed, but if they do delay it by a year, that just increases the likelihood the Athletics will have to stay at the Coliseum next year, which I just cannot see based on how bad the situation is in Oakland. Are they just going to be this horrific for 2 straight years? Is the MLB really going to let that happen? Will the owners have to step in and say, look, John Fisher's going to have to spend some money and at least try and make them competitive next year while they're in the Coliseum? I don't see that happening either. So really, what is the answer? Because if this is true, the timeline moves. They stay in the Coliseum till the end of 2024, so they're there next year. Then they go to a AAA ballpark for 3 years, 2025, 26, 27, and then their new ballpark is finally ready in 2028. But at the hearing, it was clear the ballpark bill will need to clear some considerable hurdles to earn legislative approval and face some issues continuing from the Howard Terminal days. Several legislators wondered how the A's justified projections of 2.5 million fans per year at a 30,000-seat ballpark. Do the math, and you'd see the Athletics say they draw at over 100% capacity. I'm imagining, number one, they've really got to expand their regular capacity to at least 32,000, maybe 35,000. 30,000 is Little League. Tropicana Field with their upper deck closed is 25K. 30,000 for a ballpark, even if you want to talk about standing room, maybe that brings it up to 35K. 30,000 is just too small. They need to at least get to 32 or 35 just on the base level capacity, and then maybe even expand it to 37 or 40K if you're talking about standing room areas. Imagine this place hosting a World Series. I think when you're talking about just in general, the lowest capacity right now is Progressive Field. And it was a big issue with Progressive Field when, they hosted the World Series with the Cubs. It was just so small. It was like 34,000 per game, and it drove the prices up ridiculously. A lot of people couldn't afford to go to it. Actually, a little interesting thing about that Game 7, you had Cleveland Indians fans selling their home tickets to Cubs fans because there was such a demand for the Cubs to finally win a World Series. That's what was happening, and there were a ton of Cubs fans in attendance. But then you also have the Sacramento mayor hinting that there's a chance the A's will relocate temporarily to his city instead of the projected Las Vegas ballpark, which just recently opened. Home of the Sacramento Rivercats, a AAA Pacific Coast League team. This is what the owner said. I've seen this before. I really feel bad for the people of Oakland, and it makes me mad as a mayor of a city. Do right by your city, especially a loyal city, and I don't think the A's have done right by Oakland. And then he says that he can't confirm or deny that they are talking about possibly hosting the Athletics in a temporary move situation. They would go to Sacramento and not Las Vegas. That really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The idea, Las Vegas ballpark, the AAA park, it's beautiful, it's brand new. They're moving to Las Vegas, so you would think that would be like a ready-made situation. Let's get them into the AAA ballpark with a capacity of 10,000. You would sell out every night. You would have demand. You would have some type of fan base that you could establish before moving into the bigger stadium. It would seem a lot more realistic, but maybe there's some other hurdles that I'm not aware of. You do have to deal with the scheduling, but you would have to deal with that in Sacramento. Either way, Sacramento's AAA stadium, it's fine. It opened in 2000, and it seats a little bit more if you add standing room at around 14K. So the thought process now is if it does get delayed till 2028, it says the opening of the new Las Vegas ballpark now planned for 2028, which means the team needs to find a temporary home for 3 seasons. And really, you could argue, you could argue 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027. That's 4 seasons. I just don't see what is the solution. Why would they play at the Coliseum next year? It is completely toxic. It is a joke. It is not real baseball. If you're Manfred, do you force John Fisher to spend money to at least try and improve your win total to 60 wins or something? I just don't see that as a viable option. Staying in Sacramento at least for 2 years would keep the A's in a much larger media market. The Sacramento market ranked 20th in the United States versus what will be the smallest media market, 40th nationally in the MLB, being Las Vegas. Of course, that doesn't really factor in all of the foot traffic and people coming and going in terms of tourism from Las Vegas. That's how they're going to get a lot of their crowd. That's the same pitch that we're seeing Orlando use with the Orlando Dreamers and the potential relocation or expansion team there as well. A lot of moving parts with the Las Vegas situation. We've got Sacramento in the mix. We've got the Las Vegas AAA ballpark in the mix. We've got possibly a delayed opening to the new ballpark, which could be coming in 2028, and it is all being negotiated right now. And then we also have the Padres prepping for a little renovation outside of their stadium, right out beyond center field. I got very excited when I saw this and then was immediately let down. You can see the renovation will include an improved, expansive playground and play area with equipment, fenced-off dog park, improved play ball field, temporary pickleball courts, public art displays, and other crap as well. But I'll be honest, I thought what they were doing with Petco, I thought they were bringing back the beach. Oh, it would have been amazing. In right center field. I remember Adrian Gonzalez when he was on San Diego hitting a home run out there. I saw it on a YouTube highlight or something, but no, they need to bring that back. That was such an amazing thing and such a unique aspect of the ballpark. I believe they turned it into a little bar social area, which is what they're doing with everything. But Petco Park, amazing, top 5, top 10 type ballpark in baseball, and they've had great attendance numbers, so they're improving that. That apparently is just a $20 million renovation, so very, very small, and you're probably not going to hear much about it. It's not going to change the park at all, but if you do go to Petco, it will change your experience, because right outside of it, probably when you're walking in or leaving, you could see this area beyond the center field. And, you've got kids, maybe a dog, something like that. You can go out there and do a little frolic and play session out in the field looks like they got some little batting cages or a field there as well. So, you know what they need to do? They need to bring the beach back. It's a great feature. Bring the massive sandbox back. That's what they really need to do there. And put palm trees in it. Plant palm trees on the beach. Could you imagine? Why not do something like we see? You've got there's a lot of other places you can put a frickin' bar. We've got 30 bars going up in every ballpark at this point. It's enough of it. Let's do something unique. Let's bring the beach back in right center field. And maybe these renovations can jumpstart it, but let's be real, that's not happening. They probably make way more money with their little bar out there or whatever it is. So guys, that is the story. We've got the Oakland situation. It keeps changing every day. There's rumors. Is it going to be pushed back now, 2028? Is there a chance it doesn't happen and they go back to Howard Terminal? There's a lot at play right now, and it does seem like a never-ending saga that changes daily. We got a big news dump today after the long holiday weekend. So right now they're still planning 30,000 seats. It doesn't really make sense if they're estimating the $2.5 million per season. I realize they're talking about maybe standing room area being at around 34 or 35K. It doesn't make sense for a stadium to be that small. You see the renderings and it just looks like a minor league crap facility with really like just all these little small sections of seating. At least bump the capacity up to 33 or 34K with the idea with standing room it goes to 37 or 38. That's what I would do if I was planning this stadium. I'd probably bump it up to 35K, honestly. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.